In Miami, Rodrigo De Paul is opening a new chapter of his career. Not Madrid nor Buenos Aires, but the U.S. coastal city is where the world champion decided to continue his soccer journey with unwavering ambition. He didn't come to MLS to take it easy, but to continue competing, leading, and proving himself in a new environment. But what led De Paul to Miami? And what does his life really look like today, behind the matches and the stadium spotlights? To understand that, we must return to where it all began. Before Rodrigo De Paul lifted major trophies with the Argentine national team, before his name echoed in European stadiums, it all started in a very ordinary place, Sarandí, a modest neighborhood in the south of Buenos Aires. There, soccer wasn't just an after-school hobby, but the only dream many children pursued. De Paul was no different. On small dirt pitches and at games without stands, he learned something important early on. If he wanted to go far, he had to fight for every chance. Racing Club became the place where this wish became reality. During more than a decade in the club's academy, De Paul gradually developed a playing style full of energy and technique, never backing down from pressure. In 2013, the moment he had been waiting for finally arrived when he got the chance to make his first team debut. But that was only the beginning. From that moment on, a big question arose. Would the boy from Sarandí have the courage to step out into the wide world of professional soccer? After a promising professional debut at Racing Club, Rodrigo De Paul quickly drew attention and, at just 20 years old, received the chance to move to Europe when FC Valencia decided to bet on his talent. Theoretically, this was the step every young player dreams of. But the reality was by no means simple. Far from his familiar surroundings and the rhythm of life he grew up with, De Paul faced the pressure of adapting to a much tougher style of soccer. Everything moved fast, was demanding, and was unforgiving of lasting mistakes. Although the difficulties during this phase didn't make him shine immediately, they quietly steeled his character. A brief return to racing then helped De Paul find his touch again, regain his confidence, and stabilize himself mentally. It was precisely this apparent step back that became an important springboard, because shortly after, Italy emerged as a new turning point, where his career was no longer just a promise, but began to approach a real transformation. While his time in Valencia was a tough test, Italy was the place where Rodrigo De Paul truly changed his career. At Udinese Calcio, he was no longer just a young player being talked about for his potential, but gradually evolved into a key element on the field. From 2016 to 2021, De Paul played with increasing consistency, took on more responsibility, and step-by-step established himself as one of the most complete midfielders in Serie A. He could win back balls, provide assists, appear dangerously in front of the opponent's goal, and maintain a very high intensity in every game. This specific development caught the interest of Atletico Madrid. With Diego Simeone's team, De Paul entered an environment that demanded sacrifice, constant pressure, and an unyielding fighting spirit. But that was a perfect fit for his nature. Under Simeone's disciplined system, De Paul further solidified his soccer identity and became a vital part of the squad that won the La Liga title in the 2021 to 2022 season. From then on, he was no longer just an up-and-coming player, but had finally joined the ranks of the most respected midfielders in European soccer. Yet all that was not the absolute peak, as the strongest version of De Paul was seen in the jersey of the Argentine national team. While Rodrigo De Paul built his reputation step by step at the club level through perseverance and a strong personality, it was in the Argentine national team jersey that he truly showed why he became an irreplaceable cog in the machine. Since 2018, De Paul has developed into a player Lionel Scaloni trusted blindly. He isn't the type of player who always draws all eyes with goals or flashy moments, but he is the one who brings the rhythm, pressure, and energy that the entire team needs in big matches. Alongside Lionel Messi, De Paul became an enduring, quiet, but enormously important companion. He was part of the success stories in winning the 2021 Copa America, the 2022 Finalissima, the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, and also contributed to the 2024 Copa America. In each of these titles, his merit lay in his tireless running, constant pressing, and willingness to sacrifice himself for the collective. With more than 80 caps for Argentina, De Paul is not only an experienced international but one of the true pillars of the generation that led Argentine soccer back to the top of the world. And after achieving almost all major triumphs with the national team, he made a decision that surprised many, to start a new chapter in MLS. In 2025, Rodrigo De Paul made an important decision when he left Europe to join Inter Miami in MLS. This was not a move to rest after his peak, but a strategic choice in his career. He initially arrived on loan before committing long-term starting in 2026. At 31, De Paul maintains his competitive spirit and the desire to bring the experience of a world champion to the Inter Miami project. His journey thus opens a new chapter in the USA. With the move to MLS, Rodrigo De Paul also began a new life in Miami Shores, a quiet residential neighborhood in the city of Miami. He invested approximately $3.7 million in this modern villa, which has been his primary residence since late 2025. The interior is minimalist in design, with many large glass fronts to let in natural light. The modern kitchen with a white island flows seamlessly into the dining and living room, conveying a sense of space and comfort. On the second floor is the master bedroom with a balcony overlooking the greenery, as well as a dressing room and an ensuite bathroom. Behind the house is a garden area with a pool and a relaxation zone, providing De Paul with the necessary retreat to recover after grueling matches. Off the field, Rodrigo De Paul also expresses his lifestyle through his vehicles. His collection includes an Audi Q8, an SUV for daily use with a sporty and modern design, costing about $85,000. Next to it stands a Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG, a powerful SUV with a V8 engine and a price of around $200,000. Additionally, he owns a Mercedes-Benz V-Class, a spacious model often used for the drive to training. 3 vehicles for 3 different purposes reflect De Paul's practical and disciplined lifestyle off the field. After many years at the highest level, Rodrigo De Paul has built an estimated fortune of about $31 million. The majority of his income comes from soccer. During his time at Atletico Madrid, his salary amounted to about $7.5 million per season. With the move to Inter Miami, he signed a 4-year contract with an income of about $3.6 million per year. Furthermore, major titles like the 2022 World Cup or the Copa America brought him considerable bonus payments. In addition to soccer, De Paul generates extra income through endorsement deals with brands like Adidas and Gatorade. In addition to soccer, Rodrigo De Paul began getting active in business. In 2025, together with partners Marcos Guevara Lynch and Santiago Perotti, he founded a brand of natural energy drinks. De Paul invested about $500,000 in the project during the initial phase. Thanks to public attention and an effective launch strategy, the first batch sold out quickly. According to initial forecasts, the brand's revenue could reach about $6 million in its first fiscal year. This shows that De Paul is step by step building further financial pillars off the field. Despite his many career successes, Rodrigo De Paul always maintains a connection to Sarandi, where he grew up. After the 2022 World Cup, he expressed the desire to found a foundation or a soccer academy for children from difficult backgrounds, with about $300,000 allocated for the project's development. Additionally, De Paul regularly supports the club Belgrano de Sarandi with equipment and activities for young players. In 2021, he and Ivan Marcon also invited about 30 youth players from the club to an Argentine national team match and covered all costs. These acts show that despite his international career, De Paul has never forgotten where he started. Today, Rodrigo De Paul's life in Miami is quite stable and peaceful. His day usually begins in the silence of his home in Miami Shores, where he relaxes for a few minutes before heading to the Inter Miami training ground. At the training center in Florida, De Paul participates in high-intensity tactical sessions and fitness training, maintaining the same focus as in big matches. After training, he often spends time with his children, Francesca and Bautista. Although his previous marriage ended, he and his ex-wife maintain a harmonious relationship to care for the children together. In his spare time, De Paul often meets with Argentine friends in the U.S. for meals and conversation, and keeps the habit of drinking mate to always feel close to his homeland. From the small soccer pitches in Sarandí to the new life in Miami, Rodrigo De Paul's path is a story of effort, courage, and an unceasing desire for progress. Although he has already won many major titles, he continues to write a new chapter in his career. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any further videos. We'll see you again in the next stories.